Hey guys, this is Sacred Pockets. Today we're going to be fighting Nega Elemental in my own Sphere Grid Titus only game. What we're going to need is Titus's Celestial Weapon, an Auto Shell Shield, and an Alchemy Weapon. And probably about 30 to 40 high potions, plus at least 7,000 health. So with that said, let's get this fight started. Okay, Nega Elemental has 1.3 million health, and his attacks at the start of the fight consist of Drain, Osmose, and Reflect on himself. Drain, it does about 2,000 damage with Auto Shell. Osmose is useless because we don't need MP this fight. And Reflect on himself lets him use a bunch of new abilities that'll only cast on himself, which will reflect at you. These spells consist of all the elemental Gauss spells and Bio, as well as Flare. None of them are lethal, none of them are really anything to worry about. And thanks to Titus's Celestial Weapon, you can obviously see he'll automatically counter every single attack. Now, the only thing we really have to worry about, the only thing that will do a lot of damage is his Ultimate Counter Attack, which he will use every single time you attack him with Physical Attack or Overdrive, and is probably the only reason you could lose this fight. So how are we gonna beat him? Well, Titus's Celestial Weapon has Magic Counter, so anytime Nega Elemental does anything, because all of his attacks are magic, we'll go up and counter attack it. This does the absolute maximum for damage, the 5/9 quintuple 9-age, or whatever you want to call it. So it'll take about 14 attacks to beat him. Alternatively, if you wanted to count all of his attacks and all your counter attacks on him, after about 10 attacks, he'll be about 1,000,000 HP down. You could just use Slice and Dice and it'll do 300,000 damage and probably finish the fight for you. Unfortunately, I don't feel like counting, and honestly, I'm just pretty lazy, so we're just going to show the normal method I use. My method takes about 5 to 8 minutes most of the time. You'll probably use 20 to 30 high potions at most, maybe a few antidotes here and there. Which reminds me of one of the fights I had against him, where he only used Osmose against me for most of the fight, then he reflected Bio off me a few times. Which was ironic, because every single time he did that, he got himself hurt and I used an Ando next time. So I guess, realistically, every time he attacked me, he got hurt. Which is kind of like poison itself, so I guess I am the poison to Nega Elemental. Oh god, what have I done? Oh my lord. Anyways, moving on. You're probably wondering why I'm using regular potions sometimes instead of high potions. This is because most of the time you'll be healed more than enough already to survive Nega Elemental's attacks, so I figure why would you waste a high potion when you could just throw a few regular potions, which are cheaper and more or less will do the same thing. And the only reason to really use high potions for those times would be if you wanted to save a little bit of time in the fight, because then you could defend the rest of your turns until he goes. I don't really do that. I'm very stingy. I'm the Scrooge of Final Fantasy X, I guess you could say. Because I like to hoard all my money, especially when I've used about 2 to 3 million already in this challenge just here at the end. At the Monster Arena. I almost said Monster Mash, huh? Okay, Nega Elemental's probably about halfway dead. I think you get the idea of the fight, so I'm gonna let it go ahead and let him not be alive anymore, and play some extremely fitting music for this situation. See you in about 3 minutes.
I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beheld an eerie sight. For my monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise,
he did the mash.
He did the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It was a graveyard smash.
He did the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
He did the mash.
He did the monster mash. With my love Notori in the castle east, to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes to catch a jolt from my electrode.
They did the mash.
They did the monster
The
mash.
monster mash.
It was a graveyard
They
smash.
did the mash.
It caught on in a flash.
They did the mash.
He did the monster mash. The zombies were having fun.
And a shoot.
The party had just begun.
And a shoot.
The guests included Wolfman, Dracula, and his son. The scene was rocking, oh we're digging the sounds. Igor on chains backed by his baying hounds. The coffin bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker
They
Five.
played the mash.
They played the monster
The
mash,
monster mash.
and it was a graveyard
They
smash.
played the mash.
It's caught on in a
They
flash.
played the mash.
They played the monster mash. Out from his coffin Drax's voice did ring. Seems he was troubled by just one thing. Opened the lid and shook his fist and said, "Whatever happened to my Transylvania twist?"
It's now the mash.
It's now the monster mash.
The monster mash.
It's now a graveyard
It's
smash.
now the mash.
It's caught on in a flash.
It's now the mash.
It's now the monster mash. Now everything's cool, Drax a part of the band. And my monster mash is the hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them Boris sent.
Then you can mash.
Then you can monster
The
mash
monster mash.
and do my graveyard
Then you
smash.
can mash.
You'll catch on.
And down goes Nega Elemental. Now we get a few 2 stars, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Later, guys.